welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 171. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for your thoughts and prayers during last week on Saturday when we had my father-in-law's memorial service. It all went well, and the great-grandchildren got up and sang Jesus Loves Me, which was one of the requests. And it all went very, very well. And I just appreciate you all understanding my not having a video last Saturday. I also didn't have a video on Wednesday because I've got something respiratory going on. I am on the mend from it, but yeah, I get into coughing fits every so often because of this. So hopefully there will not be a lot of cutting and splicing with this video in between coughing. So, but I am on the mend. So before I get started, I did want to update you on my weight loss. About a month ago, I was told I needed to have a knee replacement because I have arthritis in my one knee really bad. And it's now bone on bone, but I had to lose 25 pounds in order to have the surgery. So I'm having you guys hold me accountable. So knowing I have to say publicly how much I've lost kind of keeps me in check. So far I have lost 10 pounds. So I am almost halfway there. So I am very, very excited with that. So, yeah, that's the update on me. And now let's get started on my finished. I have one finished object, one almost finished object. I'll probably finish it this afternoon. And then some other works in progress. So let's get started. My first finished object, well, my actually only finished object is a pair of socks. This was the pair of socks I was working on before. I have worn these, so they look a little pilled up just because I've had them on my feet a lot. They're clean right now. Don't worry. I did wash them. This is yarn I've reused, so it has pilled to an extent. When I say pilled, it gets like little fuzzy balls on it. That happens a lot of times with wool that's not a super wash, and this I don't think was a superwash wool. It was hand dyed by a company called On the Round, which is out of Maine, and the color was a discontinued one called Deconstructed Twinkle Twinkle. And my favorite spot on these socks is every so often there's these little red dots that show up, and I wish there was more of them. They're cute. So anyway, this is the sock. They're just ankle socks. I did the front of this. The pattern here is just a broken rib, is what it's called. Kind of like a 2x2 rib, and you skip every like third row and just go straight across. Now the heel was something a little different. It's not one I would make again, but it was a little different. It's called a Flegel heel, and it's pretty much a triangle. It doesn't show up all that well, but it has a point right here, and then it just kind of goes out. You can kind of see the seam right along here and right along here. I mean, they fit well. It's just, I just don't care for the look of it. Here's kind of what it looks like from the side and on this side. It was a very easy, different heel for me to try. It's just not really my favorite. I just don't like the kind of pointy triangle at the bottom here, where this would be where my heel goes. So like I said, it was okay, but it wasn't something I would probably make again. But yeah, so anyway, there's my one finished object, is some little footsie socks. My goal is to have a different pair of little footy socks for every day of the week. So I'm getting there. So that's my one finished object. Now I will show you my crocheted object, and this is the one that I think I'm going to be finished this afternoon. This is the pattern I'm going to hopefully be releasing by the end of the month. So this is my proofreading of the pattern. I'm going through and making it a second time just to make sure that all the corrections that I put in are correct. So this is the crocheted wrap. It has already been tested, and like I said, I'm just going through and making sure that the corrections I typed in flow smoothly. I did find an error where I apparently copied and pasted twice, and so the part of the pattern was duplicated. So that's the whole purpose in my doing this, is just to proofread it one last time. So this is what the center of it looks like. And then each side goes out from there. Now this has not been blocked. So once it is blocked, it has another probably 2 to 3 inches on each side to go yet. I'm on the final section. And then it'll get blocked, so it'll be even a little bit bigger. So there it is. And some of the puckeriness that you're seeing will go away when I block it as well. So this is 100% wool. And it's in all different shades of purple. The original to this pattern I gave to my mother for her 80th birthday, and she really, really liked it. And it's in some of her favorite colors, and that was in a teal, different colors of teal and greens, and had sparklies in it, those type of things. So lots of turquoise colors. So my mom likes those colors as well as me. So that was what she got for her 80th birthday, and then this one will be for me. So I'll have a matching mom and daughter outfit. So that is that project. And so you may be wondering, what is my next crochet project since I'm going to be finished with this? I have been eyeing for over almost a year now, I think. I saw Susie Pops and Spring Noelker made this crochet along for the Mosaic Bucket Bag by Yarn and Chai. And there is a video tutorial over on that lady's website. And I really liked it. And so I had been eyeing that pattern for a while. And I finally, I have all the hardware to make it. It's a like a knapsack type of bucket bag. And I like pocketbooks. And so this one required some hardware. And last spring, or last fall, we had some missionaries staying with us. And one of the family members had a big carry-on suitcase and like a duffel bag, and it broke, and she had to go out and buy another duffel bag, and she was going to throw it out. She says, "Can I just throw this in the trash?" And I said, "Wait, before you throw it out, let me take all the hardware off of it, because some of the hardware that was on it was ones I needed to make this bag." So yeah, I scrounged it off of the bag before it went into the trash. So anyway, I'm going to be making the Mosaic Bucket Bag, and you can check it out over on her YouTube channel if you want to. It's Yarn and Chai. Like I said, it was done as a crochet along, and there is a tutorial series that goes along with it, which is really good for me. So I'm going to be making it in black, white, and gray. So I'm really excited about that, and so that will be my next crochet project once I get this one finished up later this week. So the other projects I'm working on, I have a baby blanket. We have no new babies in our family. I have 11 grandchildren, but as many of you who have been watching for a while know, my daughter's house caught on fire over the summertime. Nobody was hurt or anything, but one of the baby blankets that was lost was very much missed. So that particular grandson asked if I would make him another one. So here it is so far. And this is just out of Red Heart Super Saver. And you may be going, brown for a baby blanket, but that was the color his was. His baby nursery, she did his colors in green and brown. And the baby before that one had a green baby blanket. So she asked me to make it brown so there was no confusion over whose was whose. So it's the same pattern, which is a Debbie Maycomer pattern. Debbie Maycomer also writes a knitting series. It's like a fictional series called Blossom Street. And this is one of the patterns from the book. And it's called Only the Best for Amelia. It's a very easy pattern. These little like fan shapes that go out here are actually very, very simple to do. There's no cabling involved or anything. It's really simple. And the original pattern has a lace edge that goes all the way around it that's done with the yarn. And I did that for my granddaughter, but for the boys, when I made this pattern, I did not put the lace on it. So just fairly plain. And so I've been working on that so I can give that to my grandson. Then there's the cabled sweater. I am very happy to say that I have finished the front and the back. There is the front finished. The back is just plain. There's nothing on the back. It is sewed together at the seams on the shoulders. And I still have needles in the neck because the neck I will be doing last. I'm working on the sleeves, and depending on how much yarn I have will depend on what kind of collar I put on this. The original pattern calls for almost like a mock turtleneck. It looks like a turtleneck, but it doesn't fold over. It'll depend on what I end up with. It might end up as a crew collar, just a crew neck, depending on how much yarn I have left. So there is the front of it with all the cabling done. And here are the sleeves. I am doing them two at a time because they are done flat. So, and of course I'm mid row here. So you can see I've got my cabling needle stuck in here. But anyway, it's just very simple. This is the cuff, and I'm doing them at the same time. That way I know that I have the cables all in the same place. But they're just very, very simple. They were supposed to be cabled as busily as the front of the sweater was, but I didn't want something that bulky, so I didn't cable the back, and I'm not cabling the sleeves other than just one simple cable running up the center here. So there they are. Like I said, there's two of them, and they're knit flat, and then you attach them. So, yeah, so that's that sweater. And then the last project I have going on is the last of the same yarn that I made the socks with. I have a little bit left, and so I am making one more pair of socks out of those. And I know that I did not have enough. I mean, this is all I've got. So I knew I didn't have enough to make them a crocheted pair. So these are going to be another knitted pair. The first pair of socks I showed you, I did toe up. These I'm doing cuff down. That's just what I'm more familiar with. So I'm doing these cuff down, and I haven't gotten very far. You can see I've just started. So, yeah, haven't gotten very far along with them at all. So the pair of socks after this will be another set of crocheted where I know I have enough yarn to do it with. So those are my works in progress and finished objects. Now let's check out what you guys have been making. Now, we did a pattern giveaway from Annie's. I had it, believe it was announced last Saturday, I think it was, or somewhere around there. Annie's contacted me, and they have their new spring collection out, and they offered me a free pattern and a free pattern for you. So I drew a winner right before the podcast, and the winner is Demetra Zamas. So congratulations, Demetra. You do need to make sure you have an Annie's account. It's free to have an account over at Annie's, and I will let them know that you are the winner, and they will deposit a copy of the pattern. It's a twin set. So it is a crocheted tank shirt with a cardigan, lacy cardigan that goes over the top of it. So I thought that was the most versatile, and you got 2 garments for one. So yes, congratulations, Demetra. Just send me an email at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com to let me know what your password, or not your password, but what your email is that you've used with your Annie's account. And that way I can let them know, and they can get the pattern set up in your library over there. So now it's time for my acquisitions. I only have one acquisition this week, and it's going to seem like a crazy one until I explain it. I bought a bunch of metal rings. No, I am not turning into a magician. I do lots of things on this channel. Magic tricks are not one of them. But that's kind of what it looks like. What these are, there's 6 of them. And I did a tutorial several years ago on making Dorset buttons. When you make Dorset buttons, they are a fabric color covered or fiber covered button that is made with little metal or plastic rings that are normally about 1 inch to 1.5 inches big. And I wanted to redo that video because it was done back when I was just learning. I didn't have a lot of the equipment that I have now. So I thought maybe I could do a little bit better job with that tutorial. So I tried to film one over the last couple weeks, and I just didn't feel like it was showing up that well because the rings I was using were only 1 inch rings. So then I thought, I will go get some bigger rings. These are 3-inch rings, so that when I do the tutorial, it shows up a lot better, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So, so I bought these rings in order to do the tutorial. And I know you're thinking, these are going to be huge buttons. I'm actually going to make these into either hair clips or put pins on the back of them for Christmas and make some pretty brooches out of the Dorset buttons. So that will be an upcoming video. So make sure you tune in if you want to learn how to make Dorset buttons. Now it's time for... Now our Come and Get It section this week is going to be a little different because I'm filming on Friday, which is Valentine's Day. So there's some sales that are running right now for Valentine's Day. However, here in the U.S., on Monday, the 17th, it is President's Day. Now, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but here in the U.S., anytime we have some kind of a holiday, it's an excuse for merchants to put sales up. President's Day is like the #1 big sale day, other than Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving. So there's a lot of the sales I'm going to tell you about today will be updated on Monday. So I'm going to put out a second video probably late Sunday night, early Monday morning with any of the updated sales, because I've checked and a lot of the companies are not announcing the President's Day sales yet. So I will keep you posted. So it might be a little bit skimpy today with the Come and Get It section because I'm waiting for a lot of these sales that are going to kick in for Monday, and then I'll let you guys know what they are. But in honor of President's Day, I'm having a sale in my Etsy shop. So I've got a couple things. Everything I've got is going to be on sale right now. So the first thing I have is this this project bag. It's a drawstring. It is like lined, so it's kind of puffy inside. It's like a quilted fiber. I have like quilt batting inside of it. And that's what the inside looks like. And it's this pattern on the inside. And then it has some little rickrack right here on the outside. And it's just a drawstring. And it is on sale for $10. And then I have yarn. I have 4 skeins of each of these colors. So I have this one, which is like pinks and purples. And the purple kind of almost goes to a slight gray color in some places. It's roughly 400 yards. Ignore the little blue things here. These strings are just tying the hank so it doesn't get all tangled up. And this yarn is what they call a rustic yarn. It's a fingering weight. Rustic just means it's not as soft as a superwash. This is not something you can throw in the wash. You're going to have to hand wash it. So they do call it toothy or rustic. It's also what it means is it's slightly scratchier. It's not, I mean, you could wear it against your skin. For me, I don't have that sensitive of a skin. It wouldn't bother me. But for outerwear, it's perfect. So anyway, I have 4 skeins of this one, and they are $8 a piece. They are 100% wool. And then I have 4 of these. And this is kind of a muted, kind of reminds me of cantaloupe colors. But anyway, yeah, so I have 4 of these. They're also $8. And then I have these, which are more vibrant greens. And there's a little bit of a kind of a peachy color right there. And again, there's 400 skeins, there's 400 yards of this. And I have 4 skeins, and they're $8 each as well. So the links to all of the sales I'm going to show, including the Etsy shop that I just showed, are in the description box. Now, I did have somebody ask this week, where are the links? If you just look at the description box, you don't see them. You'll see the description of the video, but then you'll see a little thing that says show more. If you click the show more, that's when the description box will drop open and you can just scroll down. I try to keep them in alphabetical order. My own merchandise, like the Etsy shop, and I also sell like t-shirts and mugs and tote bags and things like that with knit and crochet themes on them. All of that, I put all my stuff pretty much at the bottom, but all the sales, stores and stuff, those are all alphabetical in there to try to be able to find them easily. So let's get started. I'm not going to announce all of them just because, like I said, not all of them are running sales right now. So the ones that are currently running sales, Bluprint has 60% off site-wide until Sunday. So the sale ends on Sunday, which will be February 16th. So I'm guessing they're going to also have a President's Day sale. So their Valentine's Day sale is running this weekend and will end Sunday night. And then, like I said, they will probably have something on Monday, so I will announce that later. But right now they are running 60% off site-wide. That's Bluprint. Create for Less does sell the little metal or the little plastic rings that you traditionally make the Dorset buttons with. They are some of the cheapest they are one of the cheapest places I found to buy them. And so if you are interested in wanting to get the supplies ahead of time for your Dorset buttons, traditionally they are 1 to 1.5 inches in the button sizes. So if you want to order Dorset button, or if you want to make Dorset buttons and you want to get the little rings ahead of time, Create for Less does have them. You just put in the search window plastic rings and it pops up and you can pick which size you want. The Dollar Tree has Bernat Beyond yarn. Now I'm assuming it's a chunky because it's only 80 yards per skein. You do need to buy a bundle of 6, but it's while supplies last. And they have it in white, cream, gray, and black. Knit Crate is still running their really, really good option right now. You do need to cut and paste. You can't just click the link and it won't take you right over there. Copy and paste into the URL, the link that I have down below in that description box. You can go over and get your first Knit Crate box for $5. And that includes the shipping. So it's just $5 and you get 2 skeins of luxury yarn. If you don't like the subscription, or if it's just too much per month because it's normally $24.99, you can cancel after the first month, and you can cancel right online. It's not, they don't hassle you or anything like that to cancel. So if you want to give it a try for $5, you can't go too far wrong. Anyway, the link is down below. Like I said, copy and paste it up in your URL, and you can go right over there and you can get your $5 yarn. So, yeah, that's Knit Crate. Knit Picks is offering their yarn of the month is Chroma yarn, and that's different types of yarn, but Chroma is the name of the brand, and it's 20% off right now. Leisure Arts is offering for Valentine's Day weekend 35% off of their digital downloads. So that's pretty good. Leisure Arts has been known for years and years and years of writing patterns, and I think the original pattern that I got the baby blanket from was out of a Leisure Arts. So, yeah, 35% off their digital downloads. Lion Brand is running several different sales. They ran 2 different sales earlier this week, which I told you guys about. They're now running up to 75% off, 25% off of their kits. You do need to use a coupon code KITS25. And they're running 15% off of the Lion Brand collection yarns. The Lion Brand collection yarns are like more luxurious yarns. They're ones with alpaca in them. They're ones with wool. They're not your acrylics. They're a little bit higher up as far as the luxury yarns go. And you do need to use a coupon code to get that 15% off. It is LBC15. So those are the sales that I know about so far. And like I said, I will do an updated sales video as soon as I know some of the President's Day sales that are coming up this next week. Now, speaking of next week, it's going to be fun because, my knitting friend that we meet at the coffee shop, Kim and I are going to a knitting retreat on Monday. It's at a knitting shop I've never been to before. It's up in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour away from me. Kim doesn't live that far from there. And so I am going to pick her up, and then we are headed to Waynesboro on Monday morning. And it's an all day, like a little mini sessions where they're going to teach different skills. Most of the things they're teaching I'm familiar with, but it's always good to hear a second way of maybe a different way of doing things. I know they're going to do a section on continental knitting. They're going to do a session on blocking. And it's like, I always like to know better ways to block my patterns, whether I'm doing knitting or crocheting. So they're going to have all different little mini sessions throughout the day. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to do some footage of at least take pictures of the inside of the shop. I doubt that they're going to let me film during the workshop, but we'll see what I can do. So if I can get enough footage together, I'll put a little video in. But we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. It is a store owned by some Mennonites, so I want to make sure that I respect their wishes as far as the photography and things. So I will be checking into that. So there might possibly be a video coming up with that. I also am expecting a Knit Crate box. So Wednesday's video should be Knit Crate. And at some point, we will be having the Dorset button making as well. So yeah, lots of videos coming up in the future. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday, and have a great week.